person. I'm not living around blacks. Sorry. You know, I want white kids, and I don't want my white kids bringing home black people to marry. It's racial for me. And call me racist. Oh, very Christian of you. I don't give a fuck.
Here's the thing, too. I just read an article yesterday that Nick Fuentes is gaining in popularity. And where he used to be kind of the right-wing outer sphere, he is now coming to the inside. And this is why. Because of the racism. Like you said, it hits hard. Fox News doesn't go quite this bold, but it's racially coded all day long, every day. People want to hear that they're better than them because that's what they believe in their religious beliefs. So they like hearing it from other people.
This is not fringe in Bible Belt states, you guys. It is not fringe. And I know as scary as that is for you all to hear that, and painful for Black and brown people to hear that, I just want you to know that I've seen it. I have seen it, and I have experienced in white circles, white people saying versions of this, or hearing, stories like this. This is when they say make America great again, as Pumps just said, it's for sure, their number one target is always Black people. It always is. This rise in racism should be the top story, but because all of our politicians are so beholden to Israel, it's always the rise in anti-Semitism. So then the Republican Party can say to the Black electorate, the Democrats have abandoned you. They use you. And I'm going to say, unless the Democrats really start addressing this rise in racism, that's going to be a pretty good argument for Republicans to make, because this is so abhorrent. This is so horrific. And this white evangelical engine behind Donald Trump, their number one, before women, before gays, before anybody, is Black people. It always has been, and it always will be. And I can tell you that because I've lived around it. I've heard it. I have seen it. And it still goes on to this day. And so many white people are too cowardice to stand up and fight for their Black brothers and sisters. And it just is absolutely sickening.
Let's dig a little bit further than what she said, because there's a couple things I do disagree with. I agree that the Democrats are faking the fuck when it comes to Black Americans. Their support of us is conditional on our giving them our vote without getting anything in return except lip service and symbols. We don't need symbols, we need solutions. And that's what they're on. They're on the symbol train. And that's what they've been doing for quite some time. And what they do is they give a couple of jobs to a couple of Black faces, put them in high places. Before we go any further, let me let you know, the Tim Black Wolfpack is dedicated, committed, 10 toes down to reporting the truth, unbiased, and not working for any political party. If that sounds good to you, go to jointimblack.com, become a member of the Tim Black Wolfpack. And what they do is they give a couple of jobs to a couple of Black faces, put them in high places, never really give them power, and anything they do get, they gatekeep, and they protect their spot and shoo away other Black people. It's not even like it's really helpful to the Black community, because they're so focused on keeping their position, they don't want to risk it. So we lose out on both sides, because we end up with a Black person that's basically neutered and not standing up for us at all. And white people get to say, liberals and progressives get to say, see, we got a Black person. So that thwarts or blunts any criticism. So their shield is having that Black face in the place, but the Black face is so frightened. It's like a person kidnapped. It's like a person, I don't know, the only Black in the big house in the big house, and they're like, oh man, I just want to not have to go out in that field. That look like that hurt. My back not built for that. I can't do that bailing. I want to stay here in the house. So I agree with that part. But let's make something clear, though. It's not just Republicans that I got a problem with on this notion. You're saying Republicans are aiming at Black people, that we are enemy number one, and we're the first ones they come after. That's true. That's true. I agree with that. But Democrats, who do they first support? I say they first support immigrants. I think they have more support for immigrants and for LGBTQIA than they do for Black Americans. Name the legislation that has been promoted or put forth for Black Americans. I mean, basically, if it wasn't for a Black American occasionally getting shot by a cop, we wouldn't hear nothing about black people at all from the Democratic Party. For 18 months, everything has been about deportations. Everything has been about undocumented immigrants. Everything. That's what's been taking up all the oxygen in the room. All the focus of the Democrats has been about undocumented people. And if anything, they've been beating up black people saying, you don't care enough. Why aren't you out there fighting against XYZ to help the undocumented people? So that's really where I see the difference. That's the only thing I take issue with that she's saying. Yeah, I agree. There's a lot of people that talk a good game, but when it comes to really standing up, they're not doing it. They're not truly standing up for Black Americans. Black Americans got to stand up for Black Americans. And Clifton Powell, the great actor Clifton Powell, had a great interview where he said something that I admired and I totally agree with. And I don't have a problem with anybody who takes a while to kind of get this in their head for brothers and sisters to understand. Yo, man, there's a price to pay from going to the top. It's a price to pay for fully crossing over. That's the price that Don and Joy and anybody in the space, excuse me, anybody in the space has to pay. White Americans pay it too. White Americans, anybody that wants to cross over or become totally mainstream, they pay a price. Clifton Powell said he made it a commitment to himself to never ever totally leave his people. To always be willing to go back and take a lot less money to do a project with the people that he came from, the people that he worked with, the people that got him where he was, the people that are going to be with him. So he said he'd rather be a mid-level actor and had the ability to move back and forth because Black America's not going to cancel him like that. Working class white folks are going to hold up and represent those types of people that represent them. Same thing. But when you get to the elite place, when you get to the top of mainstream, you say the wrong tweet, you out. You make the wrong Facebook post, you out. You don't be the flavor of the month, you gone. Look what they did to Al Franken and the Democrats. They got rid of a little Jewish guy for a joke he made in a picture a decade earlier and got him out of Congress, out of the Senate. Folks, they Me Too'd their own guy. Not because women were coming forward saying, hey, this guy is horrible, he's Harvey Weinstein and people. No, because of a picture of him making a joke on a plane with a co-worker or a co-writer on it, whatever. And some woman said, oh, he touched my butt at a carnival in 1992. So what I'm saying is they'll cancel you. And he's just finally kind of like getting back to like being in like scene. You know what I'm saying? So what I'm saying is they are very sometimey. It is bad business to put your eggs in their basket because they will break your basket. They will step on your basket. Put all your eggs in that basket if you want. You better have some eggs in a basket you keep in the hood that your hood friends keep. Have a basket you keep in your working class friends' garage where y'all work on the car on the weekends and have a few brews where nobody cares what kind of shoes you got on or if your clothes, your shirt match your pants, like if it's the proper aesthetic, if you got it from the appropriate website, has the proper brand name on it. No, you need to be focused on staying grounded because these people do not care, man. I like this podcast because it seems like they speak truthfully, but there's limits even to these two white ladies. Because I see clips circulating, I'm like, they talk so bold. I wonder if that's them. Is it AI? They talk bold. I've seen clips. I don't know if those clips are real, but they're not being totally honest because you cannot criticize Democrats without going for the undocumented shit. I mean, I should not know Abrego Garcia's name. How I know that guy's name? The Maryland father. What? The governor of Maryland went to El Salvador for an undocumented immigrant suspected of human trafficking. Why do they suspect him of human trafficking? He is in a truck, driving a truck with 10 people, 10 foreign nationals from various Latin American countries. None of them spoke English, and he had $150,000 on him. There's video footage of the whole thing. They let him go. How can you, the governor of Maryland, because this became a political football, I don't know. This mofo goes to El Salvador to get him out of prison because Trump deported his ass to El Salvador with all those other people. You remember that, right? Here's the kicker. I didn't hear about the Maryland governor going after, was it the Maryland governor? Because that would be Wes Moore. No, I'm sorry, Senator Hoven. That's his name. And I know I live in Maryland, so this is bad. It was that Wes Moore, it was that senator that I did not vote for. This fucker, I didn't vote for his ass. But what I'm saying is, he went to El Salvador to fight to try to get the undocumented human trafficker alleged out of jail. But he didn't go do nothing for Dakara Thompson, the black girl thrown off the bridge by an undocumented immigrant. I haven't seen it. Now, you can send it to me. Did he go see Mrs. Thompson's families? Is he up here riding that case? Is he up in Upper Marlboro? Is he in Annapolis trying to get something done about that? Is he riding that case, make sure that guy gets what's coming to him? I haven't seen him giving press conferences about that black girl, 19 years old, murdered and thrown off a bridge like waste, like a bag of garbage. I haven't seen him. So what I'm saying is, there are so many things you can get the Democrats for. You can hit them all day on this shit. So sometimes the people that go in there and they look like they're really speaking truth to power, I don't know. I know these women, they know the topics, they know the issues. Why weren't they going there? Why are they talking about, when you go after Republicans, I'm fine with going after Republicans. But let's not forget, we got both sides of the coin that deserve the heat. And when you're a black Americans advocating for black Americans, and she's talking about black Americans, she's saying how black Americans are being discarded. She's saying how white Americans are so racist. Well, you know what? I don't care as much about how people see me, what they think about me. I care more about what they do to me and what their policies, how they impact me. And what I'm saying is, when you bring in 20 million people, when Joe Biden brings in 20 million people, all I know is, when my older brother left home, he left early. He had a girlfriend, he wanted to leave. After my mother got over it, after my pops got over it, at some point it settled in and they said, well, one less egg to fry. And I know if you got 20 million people coming to your house, that's a lot of eggs. And they got to get the egg money from somebody. And you got to get the egg resources somewhere. And people got to sleep somewhere. People got to eat somewhere. All these things matter. And if you're going to have a podcast, you talk about Black America, and you so bold, and you making a name for yourself, turning over the tables inside of the Pharisees' tables inside the temple, we need to go out to them damn Democrats when it comes to immigration too. And if you don't, who are you really advocating for? Stop talking tough just because you're going after racist whites. That's easy. Stop talking tough, acting like you are the white savior of the black people. Because we want to know what's up with this immigration thing. We want to know what's going on with that too. That's an important point. That's a flashpoint that we want to be concerned with. And see, I judge the liberals by if they're willing to touch that. Because I feel like if you can't touch immigration, if you don't have a heart to touch immigration, and I'm sure there are people with different points of view, we could debate it, we could go back and forth, but if you say you advocating for Black Americans, you will not discuss immigration, deportation for an honest debate, You won't be critical of our deportation policies, of our immigration policies, both illegal and legal? I say you ain't advocating for Black Americans. So until you do that, you're doing clickbait. Because that's how serious it is for us. That's how serious it is for the Black Americans that live in these sanctuary cities. You know what I'm saying? That's how serious it is.
The Tim Black Show streams Sundays, Mondays, Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays, 10:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Wolfpack.